increased tensions among parents, teachers, and communities to keep kids safe at school. Many parents are probably taking a second look at the doors and fences that are supposed to keep their kids safe. If they had not thought much about school security before, in the aftermath of the failure of local police and the FBI in the recent school shooting in Parkland, Florida, they are certainly thinking about it now. Never once to let a good tragedy go to waste, the left is now seized on the increased tensions in schools across the nation, and gun control proponents are using them to push their agenda to disarm America. The most recent iteration of the gun control debate concern is the left parading some of the students who survived the Parkland shooting as the teens echoed the cries for gun control with little real information to bolster their opinions. The progressive left has perfected the art of using sympathetic public figures to argue for positions most Americans reject, then accusing critics of mean-spiritedness when they disagree. We saw this tactic used during the Democratic National Convention in the Khizr Khan controversy in 2016, when a Muslim father whose son died fighting for the U.S. blasted then-candidate Donald Trump from the podium at the Democratic National Convention. When Trump responded calling him out on his untruthful statements, he was accused of being a Gold Star family. Some of the responses to the students are, indeed, over the top, such as conspiracy theories about whether some of them are trained actors. It is probably true that some are being coached or fed talking points for a clear agenda, but that does not make their beliefs less sincere. However, the fact remains that many arguments currently used by the Parkland teens are weak, or simply false and easily disproven with a little research. For example, take Emma Gonzalez with her gun control speech last week highlighted on known fake news source, CNN. It is highly inaccurate with no truth whatsoever to her statement. It is harder to make plans with friends on weekends than to buy an automatic or semi-automatic weapon, as she claims. Gonzalez also blamed the couple that the suspect was living with for not taking away his guns when they knew he expressed homicidal tendencies. While I may agree with her on that statement, at least in part, they have repeatedly stated that they never saw the warning signs that others who knew him saw. The fact remains the police were called to Nicholas Cruz's home prior to his mother's death some 39 times, as well as the FBI another 20 times. It is unfair to blame people that saw Cruz for a very short period towards the end when there was repeated action taken to call authorities, and failure occurred with law enforcement from the local all the way up to the federal level. Then there was the student at the White House listening session on Wednesday, who cited a false story that has been circulating on the internet that claims it is possible to purchase an AR-15 rifle in 5 minutes, a story that gained traction thanks to Chris Cuomo of Facts First CNN. It was easily debunked, yet to the distraught student, it seemed very real. His feelings are completely right, but his facts were completely wrong. Then there was the incident in Allen Parish, Louisiana at Oberlin High School. During a math discussion, a student being helped by another student with a math problem was told the square root symbol had drawn looked like a sketch of a pistol. Narrator, but it was not a pistol. It was a principal square root symbol. One of the students then snarkily popped off with something along the lines of, "Well, let's get to work before I shoot you with a pistol." Enter the rumor mill in one game of telephone gone wowie wrong later, and the Allen Parish Sheriff's Department were called to the school. The student was then removed from campus and his home investigated. A single snarky comment by a teenager joking about a ridiculous comment morphed into a rumor about a possible school shooting that quickly. From a local ABC affiliate KATC, on Wednesday night, KATC reported that the Allen Parish Sheriff's Department responded to a comment that an Oberlin High School student made about the square root symbol looking like a gun. Deputies say they searched the teenager's home after a tip came in that he was planning to bring a gun to school on Wednesday, spread through social media. He committed no crime. He was the victim of the morphing of information phenomenon, explained Allen Parish Sheriff Doug Hebert. Sheriff Hebert explained that the online gossip about the Oberlin High student spread so far that the rumor did not accurately depict the truth at all. Allen Parish School District Superintendent Michael Ducey explained that it was a poorly judged quip between one student to another in a math class. The students were working together, and a student made a math symbol of a square root sign, which kind of looks like a pistol. And he was helping a weaker student, and the student says, "Well, that looks like a pistol." And he just made a comment, like, "Let's just get to work before I shoot you with a pistol," said Superintendent Ducey. Gossip turned it into a rumor about the student plotting to carry out a mass shooting at Oberlin High School. The rumor warranted a search of the student's home for guns. He did not commit a crime. He did not commit anything remotely criminal, nothing to remotely suggest any intent to do actual harm, said Hebert. It seems the nationwide threat is that America's kids are being brainwashed by progressive leftists to an unhealthy and unstable extent such that innocuous objects, symbols, and signs are now emotionally affecting them to such a point they feel endangered enough to call the police. Never mind that there are people intelligent enough to use these useful idiots and take advantage of it, making stupid claims about guns and gun-shaped symbols in an effort to get out of assignments or responsibility, or to push a gun control agenda in an effort to disarm America, take control of your children and your family. As for the student in Louisiana making jokes about math symbols that look like pistols in response to asinine commentary now has far-reaching consequences. The student is still banned from school, even after the investigation found he had done nothing wrong. Worse still, the student cannot return to school and may not be allowed to return at all as he is awaiting an expulsion hearing. Think this cannot happen to you? Well, think again. Look how broad and ridiculously far-fetched this became. The school board created a new policy to deal with talk of guns and shootings. If a student is even accused of talking about either, they will be investigated by the sheriff's department, the school board, and the district attorney's office. This leaves the door wide open for the weaponization of the policy with the overly broad wording. KATC went on to state, any student accused of talking about guns or school shootings will be investigated by three entities: the school board, the sheriff's department, and the district attorney's office. If an incident like this occurs again, Ducey explained the protocol. The first thing we're going to do is remove that student from the premises with proper authority. Then, we're going to have a home visit done by detectives of the sheriff's department, and if no charges are filed, we're going to conduct a threat assessment on the student, Ducey said. Right now, the school district is not allowing the student on school property, and he's awaiting an expulsion hearing to determine if he can continue attending the school system. Superintendent Ducey says he is concerned by the new stricter guidelines, but he says he's doing what it takes to get the best results. Does it concern me sometimes? Sure it does. But if you lost a child and didn't take an incident seriously because you thought it was minor and something did happen, that parent that lost that child would be hard to explain. Really, one wonders what exactly is being taught to students in Louisiana in school if they cannot even recognize something as simple as a square root symbol. Follow us on Facebook. From the web powered by Zergnet. Awkward Olympics wardrobe malfunctions. You can't unsee the real reason you don't hear about LeAnn Rimes anymore. This figure skating move was too provocative for the Olympics. Here's what you didn't know about Megyn Kelly. Here's who Jackie Kennedy thought had her husband killed. The truth about Chip Gaines.